Peter Lowell was put under pressure today, and maybe that pressure is paying off as Celtic have signed a player from Barcelona. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for the SPFL Transfer Roundup Show. And we're going to start with Celtic, and we're going to start with someone that you can sure as hell know is reliable. And that is Fabrizio Romano. And he has confirmed that Celtic are set to sign Barcelona Scarlet on loan Alex Fallet. Now, the 20-year-old just signed a 2-year deal with Barca. Celtic have reportedly got him on loan. Now, there is no option to buy. However, he does have a release clause at worth €3 million. Although that doesn't really help Celtic, because if he performs well at the club, that puts him in the shop window for everybody and not just Celtic. Now, have Celtic maybe negotiated that they've got first sort of option on that? I doubt it, because if that was the case, you would have the to buy option in there. So, look, Celtic might be getting a good player on their hands here, but they're getting a 20-year-old. Are they getting the finished article? It's difficult to tell. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you have to wait and see. Starlet for Barcelona looks good, but played all his football in the second division of La Liga, and if we're being honest, that's going for that into what Celtic would want is to challenge for the starting left-back spot at their club.
Look,
it looks a lot better than what I think it actually is.
When you look at look at the World Cup, we've seen some young players in the Spanish team that were good enough to go to the Euros. I'm not saying if you don't go to the Euros, you can't be a good player, but at 20 years old, you would have thought if this guy was a top quality player, he would have maybe been sprinkled into the Barca team and had a few senior appearances in La Liga.
Yeah, but the reality is, if that was the case, would he be getting loaned out?
Probably not. So yeah, he is set to sign, I believe, tomorrow or later on today, and he will be on loan. So yeah, Celtic want competition, or even, maybe not even competition. I think Celtic just need a body in there.
Yeah.
Just because right now it's Greg Taylor or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give a good example. I mean, Tillman never played a minute for the first team of Bayern Munich, and he's been on to have a pretty good career.
Yeah, so maybe this guy could do the same. But speaking of Celtic, they've opened up talks reportedly, according to Anthony Johnson on X, who is one of the more reliable sources that I've seen. Multi-award winning Scottish journalist, apparently. He has said that Celtic have opened up talks with Augsburg over a potential deal for central midfielder Arne Engels. Now, he is 20 years old, and he is one of the club's top targets to replace Matt O'Reilly. I know they're also interested in the Polish guy from MLS. Brendan Rodgers has said that he is looking for two players to replace O'Reilly. Could these be the two?
I mean, they could be the two. I don't know an awful lot about them. My FIFA playing days are behind me. I think when I once played FIFA, I would recognise names. I would recognise... No, I mean, I know Augsburg, of course, but it's like, I honestly have no idea who this guy is. And there's going to be people out there that actually pretend to know who this guy is. I'm not going to fucking lie to you here on Fog Football. But, you know, he's worth a lot of money. He seems decent. He's got Bundesliga experience. Looks alright.
Looks alright. My days of watching the Bundesliga are over, but you know what? If Celtic are signing a guy worth £9 million, that's what his value is. I don't think the Celtic fans can complain. You know, they're always wanting the board to spend more money. That's a good signing. And it's someone who's 20, so again, it's someone that could be very similar to Matt O'Reilly. You might not be getting him for 1.5, but I'm sure Celtic would be hoping that if they're going to pay $9 million for this guy, that in a few seasons' time, they can at least double that and sell him on. So that's the Celtic way. It seems to be how they do things. But obviously, we don't know if he's any good, but I don't think you could complain. I mean, I don't think Celtic fans will be like, I've never heard of him, don't want him. I think the fact that you're linked with a £9 million Bundesliga player, you would be excited about this, regardless of not knowing who he is or what he's capable of.
I think this sort of signing's as good as it's going to get. I mean, you're signing a guy for near 10 million, Bundesliga player, 20, younger than O'Reilly, years ahead of him. I mean, honestly, what else do you want? No, seriously, like, what else can you get?
Another European Cup trophy or something like that, maybe?
No, well, I mean, obviously, that would be preferable, but, yeah, that looks like a good signing to me, and Celtic, despite doing nothing so far really in the window, in terms of outfield, new additions, looks like things are heating up.
Yeah, meanwhile, who are the other side of the city signing? Well, they're signing nobody, but Ben Davies has left the club. He's heading back down south to England. He will join League One side Birmingham City. And, yeah, I mean, Rangers are they really blessed in the central defensive area? I don't think they are.
No, we're not, but we're going to bring somebody in by the name of Kaki, hopefully by the name's it, but hopefully he doesn't play like Kak.
I mean, who have Rangers got? They've got Suter, Proper, Ancient, Balogun. I mean, who else right now do Rangers have?
But Proper and Balogun, who are both injured. King.
I mean, King, but...
Spfl can play in there.
I think Ben Davies isn't as bad as he gets made out to be.
Nah, but the shirtwaist's too heavy on him. He needs to piss off.
Yeah, he's ripped that shirt up. But anyway, he is going back down to England. Obviously, he's had clubs such as Liverpool and Preston. And, I mean, he just seems to like it down in England, so we'll see what happens. But, Ben Davies back in England. I wouldn't say it's a massive loss for Rangers, but what I would say is more concerning is just the lack of options that they have at centre-back.
Yeah, but there's no future at the club for this guy.
Well, no, I think if he stayed there, he's always going to have to accept that, look, he's probably going to be like 4th or 5th choice. And he only really gets played if there's injuries. But unfortunately for Rangers, there is injuries.
Yeah, so the correct choice for Rangers is to get him off the wage bill for a season and bring someone else in. And that's what they've done.
Any idea how long he's got left in his contract?
2 years.
Is there any sell value in Davies, or?
I think if you're going to, it would have been this summer.
Yeah, once you loan him out and get him back the year left.
As we've heard, the problem with Rangers, apparently, they've got money to spend. It's just the wage bill's crippling them. So hopefully this guy was on a lot of wages.
I just wouldn't really understand that, considering how many players have let go. You'd think I would have surely freed up the wage bill, but... yeah, whatever.
I don't know what the reasoning is behind it.
Maybe not. Anyway, Napoli have agreed a fee with Man United for Scott McTominay. That fee is expected to be around €30 million, so approximately £25 million. I mean, a lot of people laughing at this, saying that, you know, it just goes to show you the state of English football. McTominay worth £25 million. That baffles me, man. I'm not the biggest McTominay fan, right? Obviously, I appreciate all the goals he was scoring for Scotland. But there's been fucking players way worse than McTominay that's went for a lot more than McTominay. And plus, McTominay's been one of Man United's more consistent players, I would say, over the past 5 seasons.
He's a goal-scoring midfielder.
To me, I don't think this is a bad... I don't think this is a bad amount for McTominay.
No, he's...
And Napoli, when they want him, he was shit.
He's just made out as a scapegoat because he plays for United.
And he's not got a fancy name.
No, honestly, see for Scotland, he doesn't cost Scotland goals. See for United, he does. You know where that is? Because he gets fucking played out of position. See when McTominay gets brought on late in games, right, for United, it works because he's playing in a more attacking role. It seems to be where he costs United is where he starts in a more central midfield role. I know he does kind of play there for Scotland, but he is given more license to go forward, and there's players such as like McGregor and Gilmore who would sit a bit more back. But, well, McGregor not anymore. But for United, there's times where he started, in with Casemiro, and Casemiro's fucking done. His legs have been gone for a few years.
Yeah, we've also seen McTominay play. He can pretty much play everybody. Hell, there was one time we were debating whether he should be the striker for Scotland.
Yeah.
So, I mean, McTominay can pretty much play everywhere. I think he's a good versatile player. For me, it's a decent signing for Napoli if they get him, guys. And that is it. So, Celtic have apparently signed Alex Telles, I believe it will, or Alex Fails.
Well, it's going to be announced. It's not announced yet. But...
yeah, but it's pretty much happened. And who knows, we could wake up in a couple of days' time and they could have spent maybe £20 million on approximately, 2 players coming in the midfield to replace O'Reilly. So, yeah, it looks like Celtic had a quiet window so far. But things are beginning to heat up. Although, let's be honest, right now, in terms of outfield players, it hasn't been exciting to this point because the only 2 players they brought in were players there last season, and then they obviously did bring in Schmeichel. But I think that's going to change, and I do think that Celtic will be busy in the final week of the transfer window. And for me, if Celtic really want to, even though they've got a gap over Rangers already, I think Celtic have got the finances and the capability to just completely stretch that. To me, if Celtic wanted to, I think they could go out. Not that they will, but they've got the ability to go out and sign 4, 5, 6 good players and just push them beyond Rangers. Because Rangers can't do that. We know that Rangers ain't going to go out and sign 4 or 5 players. If they do, they're going to be cheap. But Celtic realistically could go out and spend £7 million on 5 players.
No, they could, yeah.
Whether that happens or not, we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you tomorrow for more transfer news.
The fact of the matter is, talk about Celtic got loads of money. They've got money in the bank, but say they did do that, their net spend would only be 10 million because they've got 25 for O'Reilly. So it's not as crazy as what it sounds. It's not like they're just spending 35 million on top of nothing. It's all about net spends. So, that's what it is.
Yeah, anyway guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.